Welcome to the weekend. We kick off this new episode on Saturday, March 14, 2026, with a massive Serie A showdown at the San Siro. This Serie A clash features two of the most offensive systems in Italy. Statistically, Inter is a powerhouse in corner generation, averaging 7.20 corners per home match this season. Their tactical setup emphasizes wide play and constant crossing, which frequently forces defenders to concede set pieces. Atalanta arrives with an equally aggressive profile, contributing to a total match average of over 10 corners in their recent away fixtures. Historical data from their last 5 head-to-head meetings shows an 80% trend of exceeding the 8-corner mark. Given both teams' high shot volume and tendency to exploit the flanks, the probability of surpassing the 7.5 corner threshold is statistically very high. The intensity of this top-table battle ensures a fast-paced game with numerous deflections and blocks leading to corners. Prediction: over 7.5 corners. The Stadio Diego Armando Maradona hosts a fixture where statistical trends strongly favor a high corner count. Napoli enters this match as one of the league's leaders in offensive pressure, averaging 6.45 corners per home game. Under their current tactical setup, the emphasis on high wingers and overlapping fullbacks consistently drives play toward the goal line. Lecce, while playing a more defensive style, contributes an average of 3.80 corners per away match, often generated through quick counter-attacks. Historical data shows that in 85% of Napoli's home games against bottom-half teams this season, the total corner count has exceeded the 8.5 mark. With Napoli expected to dominate possession and Lecce forced into deep defensive blocks, the frequency of deflections and clearances for set pieces is statistically projected to surpass the 7.5 threshold comfortably. Prediction: over 7.5 corners. The Bundesliga stadium hosts a clash where recent form suggests a high probability of goals. Juventus enters this match with a sharpened attack, having scored 12 goals in their last 5 league outings. Statistically, the Bayern have seen over 1.5 goals in 84% of their matches this season, driven by the clinical form of Dusan Vlahovic. Udinese has transitioned into a more open style of play, resulting in their last 6 home games all finishing with at least 2 goals on the scoreboard. Their defensive line has been breached in 90% of their fixtures against top 6 opponents this year. Historical data from their most recent meeting in late 2025 ended in a 2-1 scoreline, maintaining a long-term trend where 80% of head-to-heads at this venue surpass the 1.5 goal threshold. With Juventus fighting for the lead and Udinese's defensive lapses, the data points firmly toward a multi-goal encounter. Prediction: over 1.5 goals. Montilivi hosts a high-stakes La Liga clash. Girona has been remarkably consistent, scoring in 85% of their home matches this season. Their offense is led by Vladislav Vanet, who has 9 goals this campaign. Athletic Bilbao's defense shows travel fatigue, conceding in 11 of their 13 away fixtures, averaging 1.62 goals against per game. Head-to-head history favors the Catalans, as Girona scored in each of their last 5 meetings with the Basques. With Athletic missing key defensive pieces and Girona coming off a 2-1 win over Barcelona, the probability of the home side finding the net is high. Statistical trends show Girona maintains a high shot-on-target ratio at home, making a goal for the hosts a solid expectation for this Saturday encounter. Prediction: Girona to score. The Metropolitano prepares for a Madrid derby where statistical trends point toward an unusually high-scoring affair. Atletico Madrid has shifted toward a more expansive style this season, with 78% of their home games producing over 2.5 goals. Their attacking duo of Griezmann and Soloth has been clinical, contributing to a home average of 2.1 goals scored per match. Getafe, traditionally defensive, has struggled on the road in 2026, conceding 2 or more goals in 4 of their last 5 away trips. Notably, the last 3 meetings between these sides have been goal festivals, including a 3-3 draw and a 3-0 victory for Atletico. With Atleti pushing for a top 3 finish and Getafe's defensive discipline wavering under high-pressure pressing, the data suggests a 72% probability of seeing at least 3 goals. Expect an intense game where early breakthroughs force an open second half. Prediction: over 2.5 goals. The Carlos Tartiere hosts a critical encounter as Real Oviedo battles defensive fragility. Oviedo has conceded 44 goals in 27 matches, the second worst record in the league, failing to keep a clean sheet in their last 5 outings. Valencia arrives with offensive momentum, finding the net in 85% of their matches this season. Led by Hugo Duro, Lecce possess a clinical conversion rate against bottom-tier sides. Historical data shows Valencia scored in each of their last 3 meetings with Oviedo. Given that Oviedo allows goals in 77% of their home fixtures and Valencia is desperate to climb the table, the visitors are statistically primed to breach the home defense. Expect Valencia's high-pressure style to exploit Oviedo's struggling backline early in the match. Prediction: Valencia to score. The Santiago Bernabéu hosts a clash where the league leaders face a massive defensive test. Real Madrid enters this match with the most potent attack in La Liga, averaging 2.4 goals per home game this season. Statistically, 75% of their recent fixtures have exceeded the 2.5 goal threshold, driven by the elite form of Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo. Elche arrives with the league's most vulnerable defense, conceding an average of 1.9 goals per away trip. Historical data is dominant. The last 4 meetings between these sides at the Bernabéu have produced a total of 14 goals, all comfortably clearing the 2.5 mark. With Real Madrid fighting to maintain their gap at the top and Elche's tendency to concede multiple goals against high-pressing teams, a high-scoring encounter is statistically very likely, with a 78% probability based on current seasonal trends. Prediction: over 2.5 goals. The Bay Arena hosts a high-stakes Bundesliga title race clash. Bayern Munich enters this fixture in peak form, having won their last 6 matches while scoring 18 goals. Statistically, Bayern has dominated this rivalry, winning 68% of their recent visits to Leverkusen. Currently, Leverkusen is struggling with defensive consistency, conceding in 80% of their 2026 outings due to key injuries in the backline. Bayern's offensive metrics are elite, averaging 2.6 goals per game and boasting the highest shot-on-target ratio in Europe. Historical data favors the Bavarians, who have not lost at this venue in their last 4 attempts. With Harry Kane leading the scoring charts and Leverkusen's high defensive line being vulnerable to Bayern's clinical counter-pressing, the visitors are statistically favored to secure 3 points. Prediction: Bayern Munich to win. The Signal Iduna Park hosts a high-tension Bundesliga clash where officiating trends favor a busy night for the referee. Borussia Dortmund's matches this season have been physically intense, averaging 4.2 cards per game due to their aggressive counter-pressing. Augsburg arrives as one of the most disciplined challenged teams in the league, currently leading the stats for fouls committed away from home. Their tactical approach relies on breaking play, which has resulted in them receiving at least 3 yellow cards in 80% of their away fixtures in 2026. Historical data from the last 5 head-to-head meetings shows an average of 5.1 cards per match. With Dortmund fighting for Champions League spots and Augsburg's physical style of play, the probability of seeing at least 3 cards is statistically backed at 84% based on current referee assignments and team discipline records. Prediction: over 2.5 cards. The Deutsche Bank Park hosts a fixture where wide offensive play is expected to dominate. Frankfurt is a statistical leader in set-piece generation at home, averaging 6.35 corners per match this season. Their tactical focus on overlapping wing-backs and high-volume crossing consistently forces opposition full-backs to concede corners. Heidenheim, while more direct, contributes an average of 4.40 corners per away game, often resulting from quick transitions and blocked shots. Historical data from their recent Bundesliga encounters shows a consistent trend, with 82% of matches exceeding the 8-corner mark. Given Frankfurt's high offensive pressure, averaging 14.8 shots per home game, and Heidenheim's deep defensive block, the frequency of deflections is projected to push the total corner count well past the 7.5 threshold. Prediction: over 7.5 corners. The Pre-Zero Arena hosts a fixture where the form of both teams couldn't be more polarized. Hoffenheim enters this matchday 26 encounter in 3rd place, fighting for a Champions League spot after a prolific season where they have averaged 2.12 goals per home match. Statistically, they have won 8 home games this season and are coming off a dominant 4-2 victory against Heidenheim. Conversely, Wolfsburg is in a full-blown crisis, sitting in 17th place and facing relegation. The Wolves have lost 4 of their last 5 matches and recently sacked their head coach and managing director in hopes of a turnaround. Historical data also favours the hosts, as Hoffenheim secured a 3-2 win in the reverse fixture earlier this season. With Andrej Kramaric in top form and Wolfsburg's defence conceding an average of 2.20 goals per away game, the home side is statistically projected to secure all 3 points. Prediction: Hoffenheim to win. The Volkspark Stadion hosts a high-profile Bundesliga encounter between two sides that prioritize wing-focused attacking transitions. Hamburger SV has shown a consistent trend in corner generation at home, averaging 6.10 corners per match this season. Their tactical reliance on wide overloads often forces defensive clearances over the goal line. FC Köln arrives with a similarly aggressive profile, having earned an impressive 26 corners in their last 5 outings, averaging 5.2 per game. This focus on width and set-piece opportunities is a core part of their strategy to compensate for recent scoring struggles. Historical data from their 2025-26 meetings confirms that these sides tend to produce high corner counts due to their direct play styles. With both teams needing points to secure mid-table safety, the expected high shot volume and defensive blocks make the over 7.5 corner threshold a statistically strong projection at 83% probability. Prediction: over 7.5 corners. The Stade de Moustoir hosts a Ligue 1 clash between a resilient Lorient and a high-flying Lens side chasing the top spot. Statistically, Lorient has been the most consistent team in France for the over 1.5 goals market, with 86% of their matches this season seeing at least 2 goals. They have scored in every single home game so far, maintaining an average of 1.6 goals per match. Lens arrives with the second-best attack in the league, averaging 1.92 goals per game, and has seen over 1.5 goals in 83% of their fixtures. Historical data is even more convincing. 9 out of their last 10 head-to-head encounters have produced at least 2 goals. With Lens pushing to close the gap on PSG and Lorient's tendency to engage in high-scoring draws, including recent 2-2 and 3-3 results, the probability for a multi-goal game is statistically elite at 88%. Prediction: over 1.5 goals. The Stade Raymond Kopa hosts a clash where the double chance 12, no draw market is historically and statistically supported. Nice is currently enduring a catastrophic slump, having failed to win any of their last 6 League 1 matches, including a bruising 4-0 defeat to Rennes last weekend. Interestingly, Angers has shown a win or lose pattern recently, with 5 of their last 6 matches ending in a decisive result. Statistically, Nice has lost 9 of their 12 away league games this season, while Angers has secured crucial home victories against bottom-half rivals. Head-to-head data shows that only 31% of their previous 22 meetings have ended in a draw, with both sides desperate for points to avoid being sucked further into the relegation scrap. Given Nice's defensive crisis and Angers' resilience at home, a stalemate is the least likely outcome as both teams will be forced to push for a winner late in the game. Prediction: double chance 12. The Stade Louis II hosts a Ligue 1 clash where offensive trends strongly support a multi-goal outcome. Monaco has been in scintillating form, entering this match on a 4-game winning streak, including a dominant 3-1 victory over PSG. Statistically, 77% of Monaco's home matches this season have cleared the over 1.5 goals line, with the team averaging 1.72 goals scored per game. Brest, currently sitting in 9th, has also been involved in high-scoring affairs on the road, with 83% of their away fixtures producing at least 2 goals. Historical head-to-head data at this venue is telling. Monaco has won their last 6 home meetings against Brest, with 73% of their total encounters resulting in over 1.5 goals. With key attackers like Folarin Balogun, 7 goals, and Ansu Fati, 8 goals, available, the probability of seeing at least 2 goals is statistically high at 80%. Prediction: over 1.5 goals. Turf Moor hosts a crucial Premier League battle where defensive instability on both sides makes goals a mathematical certainty. Burnley enters this match with the second-worst defensive record in the league, having conceded 58 goals in 29 matches, averaging 2.0 goals against per game. Statistically, their recent fixtures have been chaotic, including a 3-4 loss to Brentford and a 3-2 win over Crystal Palace. Bournemouth, sitting comfortably in ninth, averages 1.52 goals per game but also struggles at the back, with a goal difference of -2. Remarkably, 71% of Bournemouth's matches this season have cleared the over 2.5 line, while Burnley's games average 3.1 total goals. Historical data shows that their last meeting at this venue ended 2-4, and with both teams lacking defensive discipline, Burnley has only kept 3 clean sheets all season. This match is statistically primed for at least 3 goals, prediction, over 2.5 goals. The Stadium of Light hosts a fixture where high intensity often leads to disciplinary action. Sunderland has adopted a physical approach, averaging 2.0 yellow cards per match this season. Their defensive strategy relies on tactical fouls to disrupt transitions. Brighton maintains high possession, 53%, a style that frequently draws fouls and frustration from opponents. Statistically, both teams feature heavily cautioned players like Try Hume and Lewis Dunk. Historical data and current referee assignments suggest a strict game management style for this Saturday. With Sunderland fighting for points and Brighton eager to break a winless streak, the competitive nature of the match is expected to be high. Current seasonal trends show that 78% of Brighton's away games against bottom-half teams have exceeded the 3.5 card threshold, prediction, over 3.5 cards. The Emirates Stadium hosts a clash where Arsenal's elite defence faces an Everton side with a surprisingly resilient away scoring record. Arsenal has been dominant at home, yet they have conceded in 50% of their Premier League matches this season. Everton arrives with momentum under David Moyes, having found the net in 71% of their fixtures, including 16 goals in 14 away trips, 1.14 per game. Key players like Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, 6 goals, and Iliman Ndiaye have been clinical in transition, especially against top-6 sides. Historical data shows that while Arsenal often wins, they have failed to keep a clean sheet against Everton in 3 of their last 5 meetings. With Arsenal facing recent defensive rotations, Everton is statistically positioned to breach the home net, prediction, Everton to score. Stamford Bridge hosts a high-profile encounter where both sides have consistently found the net in recent matchups. Chelsea has been prolific at home this season, scoring in 93% of their matches and averaging 1.8 goals per game. Newcastle arrives with a similarly aggressive record, and remarkably, both teams have scored in all of their last 13 games, highlighting a major trend of defensive lapses and offensive efficiency. Statistically, the both teams to score BTTS market is supported by their most recent meeting in December 2025, which ended in a -2-2 draw. Chelsea's recent form shows an 80% trend for over 2.5 goals, while Newcastle's leaky defense has conceded in 14 consecutive outings. With João Pedro in elite form for the Blues, 14 goals, and Newcastle's tendency to capitalize on set pieces, the probability of both teams breaching the defense is statistically high at 65%, prediction, both teams to score. The London Stadium hosts a matchday 30 clash where West Ham's survival instincts meet Manchester City's title ambitions. Statistically, the Hammers have been remarkably consistent at home, finding the net in 10 of their last 12 league fixtures at this venue. Despite sitting in 18th place, their attack, 35 goals, maintains a shot accuracy, 38%, nearly identical to City's. Manchester City arrives after a taxing Champions League trip and has shown defensive vulnerability on the road, conceding in 64% of their away trips this season. Historical data shows that while City often secures the win, West Ham has managed to score in 4 of their last 5 home meetings against the Citizens. With West Ham desperate to escape the relegation zone and Jarrod Bowen's clinical form, the probability of the hosts breaching a City defense that averages 0.9 goals conceded per game is statistically strong at 61%. Prediction, West Ham to score.